What if your dream vacation turned into a nightmare you couldn't escape? Imagine you've spent months planning. The destination looks perfect. Turquoise waters, ancient ruins, vibrant markets, and sunsets that seem to last forever. But behind the glossy brochures and influencer posts, there's a side of travel that rarely makes the front page. A hidden world where risk isn't about missing a connecting flight or losing your luggage, but about stepping into the heart of chaos, conflict, and danger that could swallow you whole. While postcards show crystal-clear waters and exotic skylines, there's a darker truth lurking behind some travel destinations. Certain places, despite their beauty or culture, hide risks that most tourists never see coming until it's too late. We're not talking about minor inconveniences, lost luggage, missed buses, or a case of food poisoning. Instead, these are destinations where war zones, violent crime, kidnappings, and the very real possibility of vanishing without a trace are not exceptions, but the rule. So what are the world's most dangerous travel destinations? Not just the ones that make sensational headlines, but those that top the list year after year, according to global security experts and hard data. Let's count down the top 5 most dangerous places to travel based on real data, not just headlines. Number 5, Syria. Once, Syria was a jewel of the Middle East, attracting wanderers and scholars to the ancient streets of Damascus and the breathtaking ruins of Palmyra. Today, the story is starkly different. Since 2011, Syria has been gripped by an unending civil war. The conflict has left entire neighborhoods in ruins, and the infrastructure that once supported bustling cities now lies shattered. What's left is a patchwork of territories controlled by government forces, rebel groups, and extremist factions, none of which offer safe harbor for outsiders. For tourists, the risks are overwhelming. You could find yourself caught in a bombing, swept up at a checkpoint, or mistaken for a spy by any number of groups. Kidnapping is a constant threat, and medical services are scarce. Even the most seasoned journalists and aid workers face extraordinary danger, let alone an average traveler. For now, Syria's rich history and haunting beauty are locked behind layers of warning tape and barbed wire, a tragic reminder of how quickly paradise can become peril. Number 4, Venezuela. The allure of Venezuela is undeniable. From the world's highest waterfall, Angel Falls, to the electric energy of Caracas, the country seems built for adventure. But beneath the surface, danger pulses through daily life. Economic collapse has plunged Venezuela into chaos, and the consequences are everywhere. Rampant inflation, food and medicine shortages, and a dramatic spike in violent crime. Caracas now ranks among the most dangerous cities in the world. Foreigners, especially those perceived as wealthy, become prime targets for kidnappings, armed robberies, and extortion. Political unrest has fueled street protests and violent clashes, and law enforcement, under-resourced and often corrupt, offers little protection. Even basic services like electricity and water can fail without warning, leaving travelers vulnerable and isolated. The natural beauty remains, but the risks are so severe that most governments urge their citizens to stay away. For those who do go, the dream of adventure can quickly turn into a fight for survival. Number 3, Somalia. Somalia's coastline stretches for thousands of miles, dotted with pristine beaches and coral reefs. But this is a country where beauty and danger walk hand in hand. Decades of civil war have left Somalia without a functioning central government, and much of the country is controlled by warlords, militias, and extremist groups. Piracy is rampant along the coast, and the threat of kidnapping is constant, especially for Westerners, who are seen as high-value targets for ransom. In some regions, humanitarian workers travel in armored convoys, and even then, attacks are common. The capital, Mogadishu, is infamous for suicide bombings, ambushes, and street violence. The absence of law enforcement means that if something goes wrong, help is far away. And often, it doesn't come at all. For most travelers, Somalia is not just a risky destination. It's a gamble with the highest possible stakes. Number 2, Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been at the crossroads of empires for centuries, a land of rugged mountains and ancient history. But for travelers, it remains one of the world's most dangerous countries. Despite the end of major foreign military operations, Afghanistan is still plagued by frequent terrorist attacks, deadly bombings, and ongoing insurgency. Foreigners are viewed with suspicion, and anti-foreigner sentiment can turn deadly in the blink of an eye. Kidnappings for ransom are a real and present threat, and the infrastructure to escape or get help simply doesn't exist in many areas. Even major cities like Kabul are not immune from violence, with attacks targeting hotels, restaurants, and government buildings. The risks extend beyond conflict too. Landmines, banditry, and the lack of basic medical services make every step a potential hazard. For now, Afghanistan's legendary landscapes and storied past are largely off-limits, the price of entry far too high for most. Number 1, North Korea. Few destinations inspire as much curiosity or fear as North Korea. The country is a paradox, a tightly controlled society where the government decides what you see, where you go, and even whom you speak to. For the select few tourists allowed in, every movement is monitored. Every conversation is overheard. Stray from the approved itinerary, take the wrong photo, or make a comment that's deemed disrespectful, and the consequences can be severe. Detentions of foreign travelers, including Americans and Europeans, have made international headlines, sometimes leading to years in prison or even worse. Political tensions with the outside world mean that if you get into trouble, help from your home country is almost impossible. For the traveler seeking something truly different, North Korea may seem like the ultimate adventure, but in reality, it's a place where the price of a mistake can be your freedom or your life. What makes these places so dangerous? According to Daniel Hunt, an analyst for the Global Peace Index, many of these regions have systemic instability that puts any outsider at immediate risk. It's not just about crime, it's about the absence of safety infrastructure. In other words, these aren't places where an embassy can bail you out or where a quick call can bring help. The systems that protect residents and visitors simply don't work or don't exist at all. Travel security advisor Karen Holt explains, even seasoned travelers with contingency plans can find themselves trapped. In some of these places, help doesn't come. Period. The reality is stark. It doesn't matter how experienced or prepared you are. In a true crisis, you're on your own. Yet, here's a twist. Some of these countries still invite tourism. Despite the warnings, the violence, and the risks, they run glossy ad campaigns, offer package tours, and promise experiences unlike anywhere else. There are travelers, thrill seekers, journalists, adventurers who accept the invitation, drawn by the promise of seeing forbidden places firsthand. For some, it's about the story. For others, it's about the challenge. But for everyone, the risks are real, and the consequences can be permanent. So, in a world driven by wanderlust and FOMO, danger is often disguised as adventure. The line between a thrilling experience and a genuine threat can be razor thin. Before you pack your bags and chase that next adrenaline rush, ask yourself, are you hunting for memories or stepping into a trap? Because the most unforgettable trip might also be the one you wish you could forget. And if you're curious which country secretly markets itself to tourists despite being on every danger list, stay tuned. That story might just change your next destination.